I hope you've been well and welcome back. We have something a little bit more fun today. It is Monday for me and I thought I'd take you along on my day, and I'm calling it my spooky spring day. Now, because I live in South Australia, October and Halloween actually falls on spring for us. The weather here is always a little bit temperamental, so we have been having some cool days, but luckily today is nice and sunny, not too hot yet, but still really nice and warm. It means that the flowers are out and about and are blooming, which is really lovely. And then it's also really light much earlier in the day and later as well. I always feel like I can get more done when it's light, and it's always easier to wake up for me as well, especially if I have early mornings for work. So that's been really great. So I thought I'd have a bit of a chat with you, and then maybe you can come along with my day, have a bit of a look at a few things that I'm planning to do. Before we hop into activities, I thought I'd just sit down and have a bit of a chat about some of my October favourites. I really love watching these types of videos, so I hope you enjoy something a little bit different from me. And with that, let's jump right into it. First things I'm going to chat about are books and TV shows and games, things that I've been really loving this October. Now, starting off, it's not necessarily super Halloween based, but I recently got my Elden Ring art books. And they are very cool. I've been really loving going through them. Makes me want to make so many more Elden Ring things. There's too many great Elden Ring costumes, and the swords. They have like all of the illustrations of the weapons and the potions and all this really cool stuff. I think when you really love a game, and whether you love the world or the lore or the characters or the story, I think it's really cool having art books because you can just see all the dedication that went into the game, especially someone like me who is quite a visual person. It's really great just getting these beautiful clear pictures of the different areas, and as I mentioned, the different weapons as well. For the more traditional books, I've got a few things as well. The first one is a book which I haven't started reading yet, but I'm very excited to, and that one is Masters of Death by Olivia Blake. It's this one here. I saw it recommended by someone else. A really quick little blurb reading of it. Viola Marek is a struggling estate agent and a vampire, but her biggest issue is that the house she's selling is haunted. The ghost haunting this mansion has been murdered, and until he solves the mystery behind his death, he refuses to move on. So I'm expecting it to be interesting, maybe a little bit fluffy, we'll see how we go, but definitely a bit of a lighter read. I definitely have a bit of a problem with books where I tend to pick up really kind of high fantasy or sci-fi ones, and they're great books, but they're quite heavy. So sometimes when I'm just not really in the mood for reading, I just don't read. And so I've been trying to read some more lighter books, and I think this will be perfect. The other two I have to share aren't specifically about the books, but the style of book they are. This one is called The After Midnight Ghost Book, which is this one here, and then I also have one called A Taste for Blood, which isn't that cover just fantastic. These are books that have a bunch of short stories, and one of them is about obviously vampires, and then the other one is about different ghost stories. I really love short ghost stories. I remember when I was younger, I used to read them all the time. There was like this collection where there would be like certain ones about vampires, and then about zombies, and then about ghosts, and it was just all these different authors coming together and creating these short stories. Again, because I don't particularly have a lot of time to read nowadays, having kind of short bursts of stories which gets me into the Halloween mood or the like spooky vibes is really fantastic. So you don't need these specifically, but next time you're out and about at a bookshop, or if you're even at a second-hand bookshop, that's where both of these are from, just have a bit of a browse, see if you can find some short stories, because it's a great way to kind of get you in that mood without having to kind of commit to a full book. Now, moving on to TV and movies, there are probably many a thing I could talk about, but we'll just try and keep it quite and short. The first thing is Beetlejuice, obviously. In case you didn't catch my last video, I actually only watched Beetlejuice for the first time last year, but I can completely understand why it is a cult classic. It was so much fun, and I love doing my Beetlejuice look as well. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, or if you have seen it, maybe do a bit of a rewatch. It's such a good family movie to watch as well. The other thing which has become a bit of a tradition for the past few years is watching the original Addams Family TV show, like the beautiful black and whites. They have quite a few episodes on YouTube, which is fantastic, so it's nice and easy to watch, but they are so good. the spooky vibes, the like retro feel of it. It's such a wonderful story, and the actors and the story, oh, I could watch them non-stop. They're really wonderful. I did notice they were doing a recolor of Werewolf by Night as well, which is like a Marvel kind of mini movie. So I'm quite excited to watch that as well. I think the black and white version was fantastic. I really enjoyed it, but it will be interesting to see, I guess, how it differs and what it's visually like in colour, so that's also on the list. And then another thing which has also been a tradition for a long time is to just, all of my favourite TV shows, especially comedies, they often have Halloween episodes, so it's just binging those. Like you have the Brooklyn Nine-Nine ones, which is so iconic. There's a lot of great Office episodes, even a couple of Community ones are really funny as well. And then the other thing, I don't really know why, but there's an episode of Buffy called Hush. It's this really creepy, interesting one in the later seasons, and it's one of my favourite episodes of Buffy in general, but that's just something we always watch in Halloween. Now for games, there is the FNAF movie coming out soon, which I am a normal amount excited for. I actually didn't get into the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise until like the past couple of months, so it's been really fun diving into the lore and just making some costumes and enjoying that kind of thing. I feel like there's so many good classic horror games that you can play, and I encourage you to do a bit of a nostalgia. Go back to Slender Man or the little point and click games that you maybe played as a kid. I know I sure did. I do have a couple games on the Switch, and they're also on computer as well. A couple of them are you would have probably seen a few of the RPG horror games. One of the most popular are like Ib or Witch's House. They recently got remakes for the Switch, and so you can purchase them and play them. They also got a bit of an update as well. They've like added new puzzles and whatnot. I've played both of them and had so much fun. I know RPG horrors are a specific style and some people don't enjoy them as much, but I encourage you to check them out. I think the stories are wonderful, and obviously the choices you make will determine what ending you get, which is, you know, we love high stake games. And then another smaller game that I really like is Stories Untold. I think it is on the PlayStation, but I got it on the Switch again. Definitely more of an indie game, and it's not a super long game either. There's like a couple of different stages. It does start out as like a very text adventure style, which is really fun. The story is pretty intense, but you kind of follow through doing these really peculiar tasks, I suppose, and then that kind of unravels what happened to the main character and what's going on, and then it's definitely got that like spooky vibes, which certainly suit October. Jumping to a couple of activities that I really love to do around October, and specifically Halloween as well. I think pumpkin carving is one of my favorite things. It's definitely not quite as popular here as it is in America, but it's definitely picked up a little bit in the last couple of years, and we're able to get some really, you know, some big old pumpkins to carve. I have so much fun with it, and then lighting them up. And then a really fun tip, which I actually can't remember where I heard it, but if you sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon kind of on the pumpkin top, and then when you light your candle, you get this like cinnamon pumpkin smell, and it's wonderful. And then that of course leads over to some of my favorite Halloween or all year things really are candles. Now I am a candle fiend. I have far too many of them, but I can't help it. They're just so good to light, and when they smell amazing. One of my favorite companies is Wispworks. They always do the most amazing themed candles, and they smell so good. This Halloween they did a Halloween collection where they actually put them in these little kind of ceramic pumpkin vessels. They turned out so cute, and like these are wonderful things that you can use after you've finished off the candle as well, so I'm super keen to have these. The one I've been burning a lot is called The Old Ways, which has kind of like a spicy scent. And then another favourite, which was I think from the Halloween collection last year or the year before, is called The Witch, and it smells like musk sticks. I love the smell of musk, it's so good. The other thing I love to do is obviously decorate. As you can probably tell by the backgrounds of my videos, my room is pretty full of decor. It's one of my favorite things. I love creating, I always joke that it's like my cabinet of curiosity, and so I loved putting a few kind of orange and flowers around as well. I have lots of pumpkin props of course, and little lights too, so that was really fun. And then I think today I'm actually going to decorate my front porch, which I haven't done yet, so I'm probably going to take you along for that. And because it's such a lovely day today, I might actually go to a small cafe as well, grab a drink, something to eat, and then definitely walk around in the sun and just get that vitamin D. If you have any local bakeries around you, I do find that they often do Halloween based sweets around now. I think probably one of the most common ones are like donuts, where they'll have, you know, the orange frosting, or they'll make a little spider design on it. They're so much fun and obviously very yummy as well. So definitely check out some local bakeries in your area if you have a chance. Well, there's my little October favourites rambles for you. I reckon I'm going to go decorate the porch now and then go to a cafe, and then we can hang out a little bit as we watch some fun spooky things and then just enjoy the evening. Let's go. Hello, I thought I'd just come on and check in with you all. As you saw, I had so much fun decorating the porch. It is definitely pumpkin related. I can't help it, it's so much fun. I also like having lots of lights. Like, I know it probably looks a little bit cheesy having so many like pumpkin and skeleton lights, but I just really love how it looks at nighttime. I'm quite close to a school, so a lot of kids actually walk past my house, so I don't know, like obviously I love decorating for myself, but I always like to think that when they walk past they can see something fun as well, especially making that big spider. Like, it was such a silly rush project, but I was like, you know what, I've got like an hour to kill before I want to go out, so I'll just hot glue everything together, stuff it, and then just hang it on a nail. Hopefully it stays up there, should be okay. But I don't know, I think it just adds another little something to it, and yeah, it's always fun just kind of going crazy with a space, and I'm really excited for Halloween night then, and hopefully it'll be lovely weather and we get some trick-or-treaters. It's also a really nice excuse to stay outside a little bit. I think I'm so busy this end of year because I'm going away kind of mid-November. I'm really trying to get as many projects finished as I can, especially my costumes. You've probably seen I've been going crazy with them, and I still have a couple more projects I really want to work on. I might do a little bit of that today in the evening, we'll see how we go. I have a few more Elden Ring costumes that I really want to get done because I have a little kind of small secret project I want to hopefully finish by the end of this year, but it does mean I need to get my butt into gear and really finish off some Elden Ring stuff, so we'll see if I get a chance to work on that a little bit today. I think I might go to a cafe, maybe have a bit of a look at an op shop. I can't not go out and not go to some op shops. Oh, it makes me so pleased to see how nice and sunny it is in the background. Okay, I'm gonna get going. I'll take you along with me, see what I can find, and I'll check back in with you a little bit later today. Bye. Hello everyone, it is now the evening. I had a really good time at the cafe. I went and got myself a yummy drink and just kind of sat for a little bit. I really love listening to podcasts or music, but sometimes it can be nice to just sit and, I don't know, observe the world a little bit. I have a lovely cup of tea in my happy spring mug, which is very delicious. As you saw, I've got the mood lighting going, that's why I'm quite warm toned right now. If it isn't obvious, I love fairy lights and I love miniatures, and miniatures that have fairy lights are literally the best. I had a great time thrifting as well. I managed to find a couple of things that were really lovely and definitely on sale as well. We love half price tags. I actually also found exactly what I wanted for my costumes as well. As I mentioned, I am working on some Elden Ring things and I managed to find the perfect dress because I'm going to be doing a redhead version of Rani, and I definitely wanted more of a darker tone dress, and I found this lovely brown one. It's a little bit too big, but it'll be perfect once I have like a corset on it and just have a bit of fun with accessories as well. The rest of the evening I just spent working on the Elden Ring costumes. I just wanted to kind of give myself a bit of a plan because I am so busy and I have so many projects I want to finish off before I go away. It really helps to really narrow down, hey, this is what my YouTube schedule looks like, or my Patreon, this is when I'm going to shoot things, because obviously I'm working around work as well, or any other family obligations. I've also been watching a bit of the League of Legends World Finals, which has been really fantastic. It's something I've been into for a long time, and it's always a bit nostalgic watching it and hearing all of the casters as well. So I think for the rest of the evening, I have to get up quite early tomorrow morning for work, so I can't go super late. Usually I really enjoy just cozying down, and I'm definitely a bit of a night owl. I love it when everything's quiet and asleep and I can just work on things or escape to my own little world or play games or something like that. But I think tonight I'll do a bit of reading, finish off my tea of course, and just enjoy the ambient lighting. I really hope you enjoyed kind of following along my day and seeing what I got up to. I will see you guys in the next video, and I hope you have a wonderful Halloween and October. Bye!
How exciting! Look at them go!
This is going to be the greatest train wreck in railroad history. Gotta switch them onto the same track.